Hey guys, welcome back to another Collingwood review on the channel. Today I'll be reviewing Collingwood's gather round clash with St Kilda to end off round 5, which was obviously gather round. So yeah, let's get straight into the review. So yeah, a pretty great game. Collingwood obviously getting the job done by 6 points to celebrate the end of gather round. It was an absolute sensational round. I didn't get to go, unfortunately, but yeah, it was still great to watch from home. And yeah, look, it was an interesting game, that's for sure, against the Saints. And yeah, a lot to take out from it. But I guess the big thing was we got the job done, and that's what we got to do against the good sides. It doesn't really matter if it's comfortably or not. Obviously, it wasn't 6 points. Yeah, we survived. It wasn't the best game, that's for sure. But yeah, we won the game, that's for sure. Again, a little bit inaccurate, but not inaccurate that we lost the game, that's for sure. St Kilda had their chances as well, and it was a game of chances, really. And the defence of St Kilda was probably better than ours. But yeah, both defences were just intercepting everything. Josh Battle, Callum Wilkie, Dougal Howard, just to name a few from St Kilda, that were just intercepting all of our kicks inside forward 50, mostly in the first half. In the second half, it was a little bit better. And for us, Nathan Murphy was just intercepting everything that went in there, which was great to see. And yeah, look, it was always great to see us win, but there was a few disappointing things. It was obviously going to be tough with Jordan Ngoe pulling out late with gastro, deciding to play Will Hoskin-Elliott sick because he was sick during the week. And I can tell you now, he definitely wasn't 100% for this game. But he did look pretty impressive for a player that was sick. Obviously, there's a few injuries. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Jack Ginnivan made his return. I thought he did quite well. He kicked a goal, had just over 10 touches, was dangerous, provided good pressure. So yeah, I thought that was a win. And yeah, he's probably locked his spot on the side again, which is great. Nick Dacos had his best game for us, 42 disposals. Yeah, probably another 3 votes for him. His brother Josh was arguably just as good as well with 30 touches, but a little bit more important touches. Had a chance to kick a goal, but didn't really get it, unfortunately. But yeah, it was great to see some of our players really step up. Sidebottom's having an amazing year, same with John Noble. Pendlebury was good in the middle. Jack Crisp had a good game, which is good to see. Responding after the little social media post that was posted last week. I thought he did quite well. Darcy Moore was also very good in defence, as normal. And Billy Frampton was also good, very good in the ruck. Got 27 hit-outs. He was brilliant. But thanks to some injuries, I'll touch on that later, like I said. But yeah, I'm not 100% too sure what his role is going to be in next week's game for Anzac Day against the Bombers. Brody Myercheck was outstanding. Kicked 2 goals. Had just over 15 touches. He was very good. And especially when Dan McStay went down, I think he performed very well. And the other one was Bobby Hill. Kicked 3 goals. A game where there weren't too many goals. 3 goals is an amazing achievement. And he's just dominating for us, which is great to see. But let's start now with the injury. So Jamie Elliott had a little bit of a scare. Battled through the game. I hope he's okay to play against Essendon. He should be. Nathan Murphy is ruled out though, thanks to a punch from Anthony Comaniti. I don't know what was going through his mind, but let's just say he's getting more weeks than Murphy. Murphy will be out of the Anzac Day game. He's been ruled out with concussion, and yeah, hopefully he can play against Adelaide. It should be alright. And Dan McStay was subbed out of the game just after quarter time with a tendon injury to his finger. I mean, they can be quite serious, where you can miss up to a month, even 2 months. But not too bad, this one, hopefully, fingers crossed. He should have surgery on it in the coming days, and yeah, we'll know a little bit later on in the week with Dan to see if he's okay. But I don't think he'll be up for this game against the Bombers. I don't think we're going to risk him. I think he can recover in a week. So yeah, he probably won't play, and fingers crossed he can play in Adelaide, because he'll certainly be doubtful for that game as well. So yeah, hopefully he can get up for that game. But yeah, injuries not great, but we did have a great performance from Nathan Kruger. Got through the VFL unscathed, and he should be right to play in Anzac Day. I don't see why we wouldn't select him if Dan McStay is out. He'll just slot straight into that centre half forward type role, and he'll also help out Billy Frampton in the ruck. Obviously, with Nathan Murphy out, Billy Frampton will be needed more in defence. But we will have to probably bring in a defender from the VFL. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but we'll probably have to bring in a defender to help out, which obviously isn't ideal. And Degoe should slot straight back into the side, missing the game with Gastro. I thought Oleg Markov as well did pretty well to hold his spot on the side. 15 touches, it was alright, And Tom Wilson, he was our sub. Very, very interesting sub. He's been good in the VFL, but he hasn't played an actual AFL game in over a round. And he was used in the ruck a little bit, but he didn't actually do much in there. And very, very disappointing, really, from him. Seeming he played 3 quarters, only had 5 touches, didn't do much. 100 metres gained as well, not great. I don't think he'll play. I think Kruger might actually replace Wilson. I completely forgot about Wilson. Degoe will probably come in for Dan McStay. We'll just have to go with a smaller forward line with Dan out. But Kruger coming in should be alright. And I reckon maybe Oleg Markov becomes sub. Who knows? All we know is we might have to be looking through the VFL for a solid defender. But basically that's what I took out of the game. Obviously it wasn't ideal. St Kilda came back late in that 4th term. Luckily, the first half of the 4th term was all us. We dominated. We kicked 3 goals to 4 behinds. And the Saints obviously had their chances to win the game, but couldn't get it. We had a few chances in the first half as well. But yeah, late they were pushing and gave me quite a scare, and probably gave quite a scare to the boys as well. But luckily we were able to get the job done, because it was definitely almost a draw. Bit controversial with the free kick late to Owens. In my opinion, it was obviously a free kick, but thankfully the umpire missed it, and we managed to get out of the game with the 4 points instead of the 2 points, which is what you're going to do, because St Kilda have been arguably the most impressive side this season so far. I mean, they were 4-0, not anymore. Great to see. But yeah, look, it's always good to get wins against top teams, and now we've got a big task to beat the Bombers, who have an absolute ruck combo going at the moment, arguably one of the best in the comp, with Phillips and Draper. And boy, oh boy, Frampton has got to be very, very good in there. Same with Nathan Kruger. Hopefully he doesn't get another shoulder Rico, because he's had 3 in 18 months since being at the club, which is ridiculous. So fingers crossed for him that he can hopefully play this week and make an impact against the Bombers next Tuesday for Anzac Day. Fingers crossed we can get the job done as well, because our chances at the moment aren't great with our injuries. And yeah, look, the Bombers are absolutely flying at the moment as well. But yeah, fingers crossed we can get the job done on Anzac Day, and expect an Anzac Day review coming out next week.